Already postponed, the Olympic Games now set to begin in Tokyo in 2 weeks, but Japan declaring a coronavirus state of emergency, and now organizers are banning any fans to attend the events at all. And joining us now live from Tokyo is journalist and producer Daniel Smith. Daniel, thanks for being with us. Once again, here we are with regards to these Olympics. They must be going crazy in Japan.
Yeah, there's a lot of apprehension going on right now because, this has been kind of a daily flux between whether they're having the games or they're not having the games. And the decision to bar the fans is kind of like a final blow for a lot of people because it hurts the economy. It hurts a lot of the businesses that put a lot of emphasis on, doing business during that period. So, yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
I understand that even the Olympic rings themselves aren't being lit. So we were talking about this in the commercial break. This is a process that begins years before the games actually start. How deflated is Japan knowing that its moment on the world stage has now been taken away?
Well, it's a big problem because when they first envisioned having the games, one of the reasons they wanted to have it was to show how well Japan had recovered from the horrific earthquake and tsunami back in 3/11. And then you also got to take in consideration that there's a rivalry in Asia between China and Japan. And so Japan saw this as opportunity to maybe one up their neighbor.
Was there ever an opportunity really to cancel the games altogether? I know they were postponed, but when you get to the point where you start telling the athletes there will be no fans in the stands for that opening ceremony where the world's athletes march in, that has got to be just devastating for an athlete that has spent 4 years training to get to this point, only to find out, hey, guess what? Mom and Dad can't watch me.
Well, I think, and not only for the athletes, but many of the athletes was going to bring their families over. I had did some work with a lot of the athletes at some of the test events back in 2019. That's how early they were coming over and trying out the venues and various sports facilities. And so now when you tell these guys that they're going to have to perform their best in front of essentially empty seats, I think there's a psychological effect that I think will impact on some of the athletes. Some of the athletes, it won't matter. In fact, they might even concentrate their efforts more. But I think the majority of them are really going to miss the fans not being there. And the fans here are going to miss not being able to cheer the local teams here.
Daniel, the Japanese have always taken great pride in being polite. Is this a polite issue among the people of Japan, or are they angry?
I think they're angry, but they don't show it in the same way that people in America show it. I mean, they're a lot more patient with the government. They're unhappy because the government has been up and down on this issue all along this journey. And this last blow, like I said, most of the people have accepted the fact that they're probably going to get to see at least some of the games, and now they're telling them that they can't attend the games. But it goes deeper than that, Dale, because clubs and restaurants can't serve alcohol. They must close at 8 o'clock. They can't have viewing parties. And so, I mean, it's just deflating all the way around.
We know how it played on this side of the ocean, but Sha'Carri Richardson, the track star, not being able to participate because she smoked pot the night that she lost her loved one. How did that play out there, and how did they feel about the fact that she was not going to be able to compete?
Well, I think there were a lot of people looking forward to seeing her run. I mean, when you're the fastest in the world, I mean, people get up for that. It doesn't matter what country they're from. They root for athletes like that. So there was disappointment. But like I said, Japan is dealing with so many issues when it comes to this Olympics, and just the daily up and downs of they're having the games, they're not having the games. Can spectators come? Can spectators not come? It's just, I think it's taking a heavy toll.
Last question before I let you go. Do you think Japan will try and get another Olympics after this? Because what do they say, twice bitten?
I think it's going to be difficult because they were looking at this to be bookends. They were with the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, which again allowed Japan to show the world how far they had progressed after World War II. But now with the financial difficulties, because they're talking about a $2.4 billion loss in revenue simply because they won't be allowing fans. So I think this one is going to go down a little bit better than many people had expected, because there was such great expectations for this, and it's gonna be a bitter pill to swallow.
Daniel Smith for us live from Tokyo. By the way, Daniel, you are the first person from Tokyo that we have interviewed on this broadcast, so thanks for being with us this morning.